Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Jamie Lee is here from the writer on the Pete Holmes Show. Do you do? Did I see you in a sketch?
Yeah,
I watched it. So you do some on-camera stuff,
I do some on-camera stuff, yeah.
That's fun.
It's really fun. Yeah. It's a good time. It's just crazy because this first season had so few writers that if you had a bit in the show that you wrote and you had to be in the show, it was like chaos.
Oh, okay.
Like that part was like I mean, I don't want to be dramatic,
No,
but there was one day where I had something in like Act 2 and then I was in Act 4 and I was like, I can do it. And then by the end of the day, I was like, oh my God, that was a lot.
People in show business catch crap for making comparisons and stuff. Like when you said it was chaos, like some people go, "Oh, I'm sure it's like a cleanup after Hurricane Sandy."
Right.
That's not what we mean.
No.
And by the way, if you did do one day doing writing and a sketch, you would go, "This is chaos." Believe me.
It is.
Like Tom Cruise.
It's work.
I'm all for yelling at Tom Cruise about anything, but he said he compared.
I remember
shooting the movie to be in in Afghanistan. That's not what he meant. He didn't mean anything. He wasn't trying to diss a soldier in Afghanistan. He just was making a comparison, and that's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah,
and that's what it's like to me.
Yeah, I really don't understand why he had to reach there. He could have easily made the comparison without saying that.
Right.
Like if that came out of my mouth, I would immediately be like, "Oh, I don't mean Afghanistan." I would be like, "Oh, I have to correct it."
What I'm trying to say was, I had a rough day. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm sure, I remember working construction, and I would say, this is like being in World War II or something.
Right.
And, no one gave me credit.
Yeah. It's just, what's it called? What's the gross hypothesis? Hyperbole.
Right, hyperbole. Yeah. We didn't know that.
That's what that is.
Well, you did. He was an English major. You know hyperbole.
Yeah. Okay.
You went to the University of Texas.
I did,
right?
yeah.
Now, are you a college football fan? Do you follow it at all?
No.
It was a pretty big weekend.
Like, I really wish I knew what happened. I feel bad.
A couple of exciting games. You just watched the NFL, huh?
I did. Yeah, I've been limiting myself on Saturday to just doing
because that's your job,
family stuff. Yeah, NFL is what I talk about. So
right.
I pick up during the week what happened on the weekend, and this weekend in college football, awesome.
I was going to say, awesome. a couple of calls.
Big rivalry games that came down to the last second.
Oh.
So it was
because I saw a call from Texas, I thought it was a University of Texas at first, but it wasn't. So what is your goal now with the girl? What do you want to do? You want to do like an hour special stand-up?
I really do. It's so
right?
funny. Yeah, like I kind of just it's not an epiphany, but just recently, like just today, I even was just thinking like, yeah, like I think stand-up is so great. Like I sort of haven't been doing it as much just like within these past 2 months.
Right.
I did stand-up when I was in LA, but it was tough. I was actually trying to put together my half-hour tape because you have to, if you want to submit for a Comedy Central half-hour, you have to send them a tape of what you want to do or have them come see you. And I didn't have I wasn't doing a half-hour because I was writing on the show.
Yeah.
So I had to tape 3 10-minute sets and then like cut it together. And I just submitted it today, and I'm like, oh, please don't hate me.
I bet it'll be all right.
I hope so. I watched it and I was like, I feel proud about this. Like I feel good. I just
were you doing clubs out there?
I did, yeah. I do the Improv a lot. And then they have all these like really great alt shows that are like crazy packed. Like UCB's packed.
Right,
Meltdown
UCB.
Packed.
I stopped by the Comedy Store, which is the place I used to go to when I lived there. Like, we're talking like 17 years ago now.
Yeah.
It was so depressing. I went by the Comedy Store on a
bummer,
Thursday
right?
night. Oh man, there's 5,000 wannabe either comedians or wannabe comedians mulling around. It's like the comedians version of the DMV.
But they have great comedians there. Like
I know, but it's just too many of them.
Yeah, I've performed there like twice, and I went up super late, and I just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and I was like, it's fine, like I haven't earned my stripes here, I get it. But it just made me really sad, and I was like, I just felt like, I don't know, I felt like I was performing on like a stage made out of like a Coke mirror.
Right. Well, that's what it used to be.
Just real grimy. Real grime. All the way.
I might have spilled some in '98 there. We're gonna take another break. Be back with Jamie Lee after this.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Jamie Lee here from Girl Code, writing on the Pete Holmes Show. So you said you don't know about the Pete Holmes Show coming back. I hope it comes back.
Me too.
Yeah.
We got a good write-up in the New York Times, so I feel like that is probably some kind of boost to somebody.
You know what? It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, God, don't tell me that. When I read it, I was like, the Times. And now I'm like,
because I think it'll come back for other reasons. So I'm not trying to be depressing.
Yeah.
But the New York Times thing, it ends up, you're just like, you find out you're like, an accountant is moving pegs on a board. That's like any other business. It's like, well, it costs this, does this. They don't care about a New York Times. But I think it'll come back because it probably doesn't cost that much money. And it
doesn't.
It's good. It's funny. And, you know.
Yeah. I know. I feel like we have a good shot.
As a writer, how much of a team player do you have to be when you're writing stand-up every night?
Can you
just have to give away all your good stuff?
That's a very
question.
good question.
Yeah.
And yes, you give up. I found myself giving up stuff that I've thought about for years, and I just said it one day. I remember one thing in particular. I said it in the writer's room. And I was like, that's gone, because it hit in the writer's room. And I was like, that's it. Like, that's theirs. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, it's a good feeling, because you're like, you can do it again.
It's
like, just throw it out there. You'll get something else.
Right.
You'll find something else to be your thing. That
Well,
you
it's
were
like
sitting on.
Gallagher at one point said, listen, there's a lot of different kinds of fruit. You know? When the watermelon hit, he's like, listen, I could do it with a cantaloupe. Does it have to be a sledgehammer? It could be a bat. You know.
Could move into vegetables. Hey.
Right, the vegetable.
Maybe a corn.
He like writes down.
I don't
He
know
gets,
how
he
you'd hit a
gets up
corn.
one day and just goes, vegetables. Corn.
It's the new me.
Do you know that great Mitch Hedberg joke where like every comedian could probably relate to this, where he goes, where you're lying in bed and you think of something funny, and then for the rest of the night you try to convince yourself it's not that funny because you're too lazy to get up and write it down.
Well, I mean, multiple times a week that happens. I wake up the next morning just being like, you're such a piece of crap. Like, why didn't you
Get
just
up and
do
write it
it?
down. Yeah.
Because now you don't remember it. It's so annoying. I do it all the time.
The smartphone helps that a lot. If you just keep that
It
next to you all the
does.
time, you just go on that. You know, I'm trying to figure that out, notes and stuff.
Yeah, it's a new level though of like, oh, do I want to like open my eyes and like reach for the phone? Like,
And then if you look back at what you wrote, it is unfunny.
yeah, it's
like,
usually not great.
Yeah, well, when
Yeah.
you read it back, it's just like, you know, really? Did I think that about supermarkets? I don't care.
Right, right. Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to work out for you.
Oh, thanks.
Come
Thank you.
come back anytime.
I will. I'd love to.
And you said Joe DeRosa writes with you, our friend
He
Joe.
does, yeah. I'll
He's
tell
really
him.
funny. So you got the right formula at that show.
Funniest. Yeah,
All these
yeah.
funny
Oh,
people.
all the writers are so different and great in their own way.
Good.
And I'm not just saying that.
I know.
I really feel like it's like this unbelievable chemistry.
You were lying about Melanie Iglesias.
She's so funny. That's what I was lying. I meant that. What I meant to say is that she's
a
hilarious.
doll. She's a doll.
She's so nice.
And we're all rooting for her.
Yes.
Her and Adam Levine.
Yes.
All right, Girl Code and Pete Holmes Show, and check out Jamie where you can. Jamie Lee, thanks.
Thanks.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.